Hello friends, welcome to English Literature. Today in this video, we'll discuss The Merchant of Venice, a comedy and masterpiece written by William Shakespeare. This is one of the most performed plays of William Shakespeare. As usual, let us know about the dramatist first. William Shakespeare, the greatest poet and dramatist, has now become a legend and a national heritage. He was born in Stratford-on-Avon and was baptized on April 26, 1564. Not much is known about his early life. At the age of 18, he married Anne Hathaway, who was 8 years older than him. With her, he had 3 children named Susanna, Hamlet, and Judith. Between 1585 and 1592, Shakespeare began outstanding career in London as an actor, translator, poet, writer, and part owner for a playing company named Lord Chamberlain's Men. He died on 16th of April 1616 at the age of 49. The dramatic career of William Shakespeare can be classified into 4 periods. These periods are Parentic period. This is the first period of his literary career, in which he wrote many famous works like Taming of the Shrew, Two Gentlemen of Verona, Love Labour Lost, Henry VI, Richard III, King John, etc. The second period of his literary career is Maturing period. In this period, he wrote finest comedies and tragedies, as well as the historical plays like Midsummer Night Dream, Merchant of Venice, Much Ado About Nothing, As You Like It, Richard II, Henry IV and Henry V, Romeo and Juliet, etc. The third period of his literary career is Tragic period. In this, he wrote not only famous comedies but also tragedies. Some of the famous works of this period are Twelfth Night, Troilus and Cressida, Measure for Measure, Othello, King Lear, Macbeth, Antony and Cleopatra, etc. The fourth period is known as Romantic period. In this period, he wrote Winter's Tale, Tempest, Henry VIII, etc. In total, William Shakespeare wrote 37 plays and 154 sonnets. This is all a brief introduction to the dramatist William Shakespeare. Now let us discuss a brief summary of the play The Merchant of Venice. Before we proceed, let us know about the dramatist personae of this play, this comedy, The Merchant of Venice. The characters are Antonio, he is a merchant of Venice. The second character is Bassanio, he is the friend of Antonio. Salarino, Graciano, and Celerio, these are the friends of Bassanio as well as of Antonio. The another important character is Portia. She is a rich heiress and the central character of the comedy. Nerissa is the maid of Portia. Jessica is the daughter of Shylock, a landlord. The another character is Lorenzo, a man who is in love with Jessica. Shylock is a rich Jew. Other characters in this comedy are Duke of Venice, Prince of Morocco, Prince of Aragon. All these 3 are the suitors to Portia. The another character is Balthazar and Stefano. These are the servants to Portia. Now let us start the story. Antonio is a rich and a kind-hearted merchant of Venice. He is famous in the city for his honesty and kindness. Everybody respects him as he is always ready to help the poor and needy. He has a good friend of his own named Bassanio. Like Antonio, Bassanio belongs to a rich and reputed family, but he lives very far from his home, so he has no sufficient money with him at the time. When the play opens, Antonio seems sad because he has invested all his money in a number of trade ships that were still in the sea. His friend Bassanio is in urgent need for money as he loves Portia, a rich heiress who lives in the city of Belmont. Therefore, he asks Antonio to arrange some loan for him so that he may travel in style in her city and impress Portia. But Antonio is already sad. Still, he assures Bassanio to help him. He suggests him that he can take loan in his name from anyone. Bassanio is restless because there are so many suitors to Portia. She is beautiful as well as rich. Each of the suitors was rich and princely, so he requires 3,000 ducats to set forth for her love pilgrimage to the city of Belmont. Bassanio approaches Shylock, a Jew and a wealthy moneylender who hates Christians. He also hates Antonio because Antonio is a rival in his business. Shylock agrees to lend Bassanio the required money, but with a condition and guarantee. The bond is signed by Antonio considering that it is a little amount and can be paid easily. But it is a deadly bond, stating if he fails to pay the money back, Antonio will give Shylock a pound of his flesh nearest from his heart. Bassanio warns Antonio, but Antonio assures him that he can pay this amount easily. After taking the loan, Bassanio sails to Belmont with his friend Gratiano. On the other hand, Portia is receiving many suitors for her marriage. She hates the will of her dead father, according to which she will marry the man who will choose the right casket out of the three: gold, silver, and lead. She is afraid that by chance any wrong man can pick out the right casket. But being a good daughter, she cannot go against her father's will. There was many suitors. Out of them, the Prince of Morocco and Prince of Aragon try their luck but fail. After this, Bassanio arrives there and Portia becomes happy. Bassanio examines the three caskets by reading the motto written on them. Bassanio chooses the lead casket and wins. Just after that, Bassanio receives a letter stating that his friend Antonio has turned bankrupt and insolvent. All his ships were missing in the sea. Now Shylock the Jew demands a pound of flesh from Antonio's heart. This news makes Bassanio sad. Portia helps Bassanio by giving her the amount due. In between, the daughter of Shylock, named Jessica, elopes with Lorenzo, a friend of Antonio. Now Shylock becomes more angry as he hates Christians. Now he plans to take revenge from Antonio. Shylock pressurized the Duke to execute the law against Antonio and Bassanio. In the court, Bassanio offers him the due amount, but he refuses. He is adamant to take 1 pound of flesh from Antonio. Portia, in disguise of a lawyer, arrives in the court, accompanied with her maid Nerissa as a clerk in disguise. The Duke asks to represent the case from Antonio's side. Portia urges Shylock to be merciful, but Shylock rejects. Now Portia reminds Shylock about the condition of the bond. She says that he can take 1 pound of flesh from his body, but without shedding even a single drop of blood. She also reminds him that he should take exact 1 pound of flesh, neither less nor more. Now Shylock is stunned as he falls into his own ditch. Portia reminds him about that according to law, any person who tries to take life of a Venetian will forfeit his life and property. Shylock is afraid now and takes back his case. Shylock is granted his life on condition that in future he will not sign such type of deed and will become a Christian. Now Antonio and Bassanio thank the young lawyers and offer 3,000 ducats. Portia asks Bassanio for the ring on his finger, but he refused. Antonio insists Bassanio to give that ring as an award to that lawyer. Bassanio hesitatingly gives that ring, what he has received from Portia, and in the same way Gratiano gives his ring to Nerissa. Portia and Nerissa reach Belmont before Antonio and Bassanio. When Antonio, Bassanio and Gratiano reached there, they were asked to show the rings which were given to them. But both Bassanio and Gratiano were helpless, as they have given those rings to the lawyer and his clerk already. Portia and her maid Nerissa blamed them for their faithlessness. After some time, Portia and Nerissa produce the same rings and insist as well as instruct to be careful in future. Seeing the rings, both friends become happy and know that the young lawyer and clerk were Portia and Nerissa. At the same time, Antonio is informed that his ships have harbored safely. The whole atmosphere of the city fills with joy and music. Now, this is the story of the comedy. The aim of this play is to entertain and to inform the readers. No doubt, The Merchant of Venice is one of the most popular and frequently performed plays of William Shakespeare. Thanks a lot for watching. I will be back with another important literary work. Thank you.